Hello, brothers and sisters. I'm coming to you, and I hope you are all doing well. I want you to know that I've been praying for you without ceasing during this time and this pandemic that we've been going through together. The world has been going through together. I don't know about you, but many are feeling quite exhausted, a little bit anxious, and worried. And if COVID-19 wasn't enough, and enduring this pandemic, now within our country, we are in the midst of racial tension. And in this, I want you to join me in prayer. I want you to join me in prayer and praying for those we don't agree with. I want you to join me in prayer and praying for those who are hurting because of the injustices that have been occurring in our country. I want you to join me in prayer for George Floyd's family as they mourn the loss. I want you to join me in prayer for all those who are unjustly being hurt during these marches, during these riots. I picked up one of my favorite books by Martin Luther King Jr., The Strength to Love. It speaks beautifully into Christ and his character and just reminds me of how beautiful humanity is to look. I want to share a little bit of this book with you. He talks about how in Luke, Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Martin Luther King goes on to say that this is love at its best. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Martin Luther also goes on to say how Jesus talked passionately about forgiveness. He said that forgiveness was not just an occasional act, but forgiveness is a permanent attitude that we are to wear and clothe ourselves with daily. Jesus went on to admonish his followers to love their enemies and to pray for them. Jesus taught them that it was only through this kind of creative love, that their enemies could be children of our Heavenly Father. And it is also this love and forgiveness that are absolute necessities for our spiritual maturity. We see this as the moment of testing emerges for Jesus. We see Jesus, the Messiah, the innocent Son of God, as he is stretched in painful agony and uplifted on a cross. And as this happens, Jesus lifts his thorn-crowned head and cries in words of cosmic proportions, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." This was Jesus' finest hour, because this was his heavenly response to his earthly rendezvous with destiny. Martin Luther King shares with us that as we sense the greatness of this prayer, we need to contrast it with our nature. You see, the potential beauty of human life is constantly made ugly by man's ever-reoccurring song of retaliation. But we are children called to take a higher road. We are called to follow the one that looks like eternal love in the world, and forgiveness that just doesn't forgive 7 times, but 77 times. An unending forgiveness to our enemy, over and over and over. Jesus eloquently affirmed from the cross this higher law. He knew that the old eye for an eye philosophy would leave everyone blind. And he did not seek to overcome evil with evil, but he overcame evil with good. And although he was crucified by hate, he responded with aggressive love. And brothers and sisters, I pray that in the midst of what is going on in our country and in our world and in our neighborhoods, that we respond with aggressive and costly love for others, especially our enemies. For in doing so, we become children of our Heavenly Father. I'm praying for you and with you as we take this spiritual journey together to look like the one who gave his life for us all. Amen.